Season 2 of NCIS Hawaii is slowly coming to an end. Will there be a third season? Possibly, but that can wait until later because I do think we have every reason to be hopeful. Did you know that NCIS Hawaii is the first in the franchise to have a female leading character? It's true, but I'm getting ahead of myself again. We're not at the end of Season 2 of NCIS Hawaii just yet, and that's a good thing too, because we're finally getting what we've been begging for since she left in Episode 7, Vanishing Act. Here's everything you need to know about Yasmin Al-Bustami's NCIS return. The NCIS Hawaii star is set to finally reprise her role as Lucy Terra as she is making a return in the upcoming episode titled Misplaced Targets. But let's take a little step back first, in case you missed why Lucy left in the first place. Lucy announced that she was leaving Hawaii back in Episode 7 of Season 2. She told her girlfriend, Kate Whistler, who is portrayed by Tori Anderson, that she had decided to accept a new job, which is great news on its own, of course. But this new job would take Lucy away from the island for 4 whole months. Lucy had applied for the job when she and Kate had been broken up the previous year. And as much as it sucked, Kate did insist that Lucy still go, if only to enjoy a change in scenery. Given how attached we've all gotten to Lucy, fans were naturally sad to see her go, and maybe even a little bit worried. Would this job turn into a permanent thing? If so, then what? Our hopes were a little lifted when Lucy made an appearance in the crossover special, which aired earlier in January. But aside from that, we've heard absolutely no word on what's going on with Lucy at all. But then the series' executive producer, Christopher Silber, confirmed that Lucy would indeed make a return to the story. He even told TV Line that we should expect a good deal of action from Lucy in future episodes. And let's not forget that the producer also responded to a question from a fan about whether Lucy would also get to be in some fighting scenes upon her return. Silber responded with, yes, when Lucy is back, there will be a good deal of action for her. That sounds very exciting, don't you think? Unfortunately, the producer declined to explain what kind of action Lucy will be getting involved in, so the details of said action have yet to be revealed. Could it have something to do with her investigation as an agent afloat? Because there are a few small things that we already know about the upcoming episode that will feature Lucy's return. Lucy will be seeing Lucy getting her first big vase aboard her aircraft carrier. Luckily, we already know that Lucy has a very exciting future waiting for her on the show, because that does sound a bit precarious. She'll of course be a special agent afloat, while the rest of the team try to take down Alexander Tarrant's old friend turned criminal after he goes after the agent. CBS also released some interesting new pictures of the series. In them, Lucy can be seen while she's hard at work on the ship. I'm sure that these images brought with them a huge sense of relief for fans. Pictures or it didn't happen, right? Fans have been begging for Lucy to return literally from the second that she announced that she would be leaving. But why did Al-Bustami leave NCIS Hawaii in the first place? There really seemed to be no logical reason for her departure, even less so now that she's set to return so soon again. Vanessa Lachey, who portrays Jane Tennant on the series, confirmed back in December 2022 that Al-Bustami was coming back to the show as well. She told TV Line, "She's still here and she's still around, but we try to honor what acting commitments Yasmin has back on the mainland and maximize the time when she is here." In fact, at the time of Lachey saying this, Al-Bustami was right there on set with them, and they had just wrapped shooting 2 massive water days, and none of them were spared. Everyone on the team got soaking wet. The leading star recently made an appearance on The Talk ahead of the crossover special. She talked about the crossover special, of course, and spoke of how proud she felt for being the first female lead of an NCIS franchise. "I wasn't going to get emotional, but you said I made history and I never really thought about that," the actor said with tears in her eyes. After the other stars that were on the panel had congratulated her, Lachey added that she absolutely loves that she's the one who got to be the first female lead in the NCIS franchise. So, of course, she's incredibly grateful to CBS Studios and CBS Networks. Given the fact that the NCIS franchise first kicked off way back in September of 2003, I think that it's no exaggeration permission to say that Lachey wrote history, and she entirely deserves to be proud of it as well. If only she had slipped up a bit in her excitement and given us a little information on a possible third season for NCIS Hawaii. But alas, Lachey is a professional, and she didn't give any news on season 3 at all. But sometimes it's the things they don't say that tell us something as well. And even though the actor wouldn't divulge in whether the story might be continued after season 2, she did talk about her character in the present tense. And NCIS Hawaii also hasn't been showing any signs of slowing down anytime soon either. I mean, just look at how successful the recent crossover event was. The special episode saw NCIS Hawaii join forces with the NCIS LA and flagship programs. Fans had been looking forward to the event for literally months, and it definitely didn't disappoint. We even got to see Lucy for a little bit. The event lasted for a total of 3 hours, but if you ask me, they could have made an entire mini-series out of it. It was the first time ever that the franchise had a crossover event, and it centered around a super high-stakes personal case to take down a mysterious hitman. It all starts when the members from the different NCIS divisions come together in Washington, D.C. to celebrate a celebrated professor who taught several of the members of each team. But on the eve of the celebration, the professor is found dead. It appears to be a suicide, but his former students immediately suspect that something isn't quite right. And the more they investigate the case, the bigger the targets on their backs become. Things really start to get dicey when members of the team are suddenly kidnapped. So, the only thing they can do is all come together and take down the assassin in order to save their own. Let me tell you, they did not hold back with that crossover event. Not that they had much of a choice, as it has taken so long for one to happen in the first place. But despite the fact that the event was highly anticipated, the storyline and narrative was pretty satisfying for us fans. Over 7 million people ended up tuning in, so I'd say that it was a success. And there's really no reason to believe that CBS won't commission another season of NCIS Hawaii. But that was everything you need to know about Yasmin Al-Bustami's NCIS return.
Y'all trust him?
Probably.
More than likely.
Okay, well, that's encouraging.
Hey,
Footage. Maybe one was passing over when this all went down.
Okay, Fatima, you need to take a breath.
I do. I literally just asked you.
Sorry,
Right. Took an Uber here. You know, NCIS travel budgets is 1 rental per year, 2.
Laptop. Only junk mail. No magazines. He doesn't even have a...
If you guys are hiring, I always thought I'd be a pretty good flight attendant.
You good, Jimmy?
Sound as a pound, mate. Oh, thank you.
Agent's tours and tenant will